I love how Bumble is now looking for solutions to problems they started. This has to be unintentionally the funniest article I've come across in 2024. I'm going to link the description down below, and I'm just going to go over the highlights here, but this is rich. A lot of effort to get one date. Bumble app makes women's first move easier. How could it be easier? Women are making the first move. Women have all of the options to choose from. That's too much? But here we go. Bumble has an answer. Intentions badges. So there's two things that Bumble is doing. The first is intentions badges. Women were complaining about men not being upfront with their intentions, so now men will have a badge on them. A little sticker that says, I'm looking for a long-term relationship, or short-term fun, or casual, go with the flow, whatever. As if this is actually going to do anything. What, are men going to go to jail if they lie about their intentions on the badges? What are we doing here? It doesn't make any sense. What these apps and women and people don't understand is that you can't quantify all of this into X's and O's and ones and zeros. There's more nuance to it than that. Here's the issue. Men could look at one woman as short-term fun and another woman as his future wife. Men and women are looking for long-term relationships, but we make and break rules for different people. Men could be looking for a long-term relationship but have short-term fun with you in the meanwhile. It's that simple. Now, here's the second thing that Bumble is doing. They're going to add, like Hinge, questions for women to ask for men to come in and answer and make that first move, which is just more exhausting because it's more shit to have to sift through. So now women can ask their little derpy question like, are you a fan of Hawaiian pizza? I only date people and trust people who like Hawaiian pizza. And men could come in like, yeah, totally, it's a vibe. I love Hawaiian. Yeah, I don't trust people that don't like Hawaiian. It's a mess. They can write their little stupid question and men can reply. And at the end of the day, none of that matters. It's just a sprinkle on top to make some conversation because what matters are your photos. That is 97% of it. That's all, and that's not going to change. That's how these dating apps are. That's how this is set up. Let's look at this. In the end, it was the data that killed me, says Penny, about her decision to leave the dating app Bumble. If she opened the app, she might receive 100 likes, 25% of which she might be interested in. She would look at their profiles and write individualized messages. A few would respond. Perhaps one would result in a date. That's a lot of effort to get one date, she says. It's exhausting. You think that's exhausting? Now you have to look at the man's perspective. Because when men look at this, 100 likes and choosing from that, men are salivating. Men, when they hop onto their Bumble app, they have to first wipe away all of the cobwebs, and then they're greeted by their one like. Then they get excited until they look at the one like. The one like is usually this overweight, entitled woman, single mom with 4 kids who don't need no man but want a man and wants to be fully provided for. That's hyperbole. I'm exaggerating, of course, but ain't no man getting 100 likes like this. This is reserved for the top 10%. And guess what? She wrote here 25% of which she might be interested in. Might be. More like 10. So the 10% of guys that she is interested in out of the 100 likes, that 10% of men, they also have their own 100 likes to sift through. That's the top 10% of men, baby. They get to pick. So they also have their 10%. And the rest, one-offs, short-term fun, whatever. And women will go along with it. That's it. Women aren't great at choosing. They just aren't. They can't tell the difference between a man who wants a long-term commitment with them and the man that's just fucking around. That's it. Men somewhat at fault here because we all come to women with the thought of romance and this, that, and the third. But women, you really got to do better with the choosing. You got to interview that guy. You got to go through it. Women don't do enough. This is what's funny to me now. Check this out. Given all this extra effort women are making on dating apps in terms of the time and energy spent, it's an additional expenditure of energy to also make the first move. Isn't that what the whole thing was with Bumble? Wasn't that the benefit, the thing, the pitch, making the first move? Now, no. Now it's a problem. I think this adds to the experience of exhaustion that sometimes people describe having with dating apps, particularly women. Yeah, it's a different experience with men. With men, they're losing their finger swiping right. They don't know what to do anymore. They're not getting any matches, so their little fingers falling off now. With women, they're swiping with all of the options that they have. That's the fun part. They get to look and fantasize with all of these men that are liking their pictures. Women are just bad with the choosing. You choose the top 25%, the top 10%, and then you go out with the guy who doesn't take you seriously, but then you think that you have to validate yourself to him. That's on you. Now, the article continues on to talk about the struggles with these apps. Mainly, the stock price is falling down. Apparently, Bumble has fallen 86% since January, since 2021. Not good. You know, you look at share prices and you can see what this move is all about in a nutshell. These are massive corporate machines. They're making decisions based on figures. Bumble also announced it was introducing new dating intentions, badges, including intimacy without commitment, life partner, and ethical non-monogamy. Oh my God. You're making it much more complicated than it needs to be. After 2/3 of women it surveyed said they struggled with people not being upfront with what they wanted. The badges, all this stuff isn't gonna help. Why would I rat myself out? This doesn't make any sense. I think dating apps are beginning to catch up with what's happening offline. Nope, they're not. We've been doing this for 19 years and we've seen the explosion in sexuality and gender coming since day one. Other dating apps are also increasingly trying to diversify, offering matching services for friendships and events for singles. Yeah, friendship is just as hard now just to come by. I agree with that. But looking into this more and more, dating apps aren't going anywhere. It's a sad reality that we now have to deal with. People don't know how to socialize anymore. Social anxiety is through the roof. People don't know how to approach anymore. People make excuses for not approaching, but some really are valid. Women also make it really hard to be approached now. Women are always looking down on their phones. They don't want to be looked at the gym. They go out to bars and lounges with the girlies, pretending they don't want a man. They don't have any intentions of looking for a man, but they're dressed to the nines, but they're just out with the girlies. So then what is it? Then they come up with fantasies that they just want to be approached at a Trader Joe's. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But this is the sad reality now. Check this out. But despite warnings of dating app fatigue, the app's popularity appears to be holding firm, at least for now. According to the Pew Research Center, the 30% share of Americans who report using any type of dating site or app is unchanged since 2020. For the under 30s, that figure is 53%. So half of people under 30. Dating apps aren't going anywhere. The last topic I didn't get to touch on was the grass is greener and the illusion of options. This is what's causing people to end up on the carousel, and they're losing faith in the apps because they're tired. They don't want to deal with one more talking stage. It's over and over and over again. But at the same time, if you look at the other hand, people will leave relationships now and leave the people they're talking to for complete stupidity. Nobody wants to work out their issues anymore. Love isn't a Disney movie. You have to want to work at it after the honeymoon period. It's just endless honeymoon periods now for everybody. You can't have it both ways. Let me know what you guys think down below. Later.